I was blown away by this film. It has a star attachment, an actor that I really like. It has such tension. It's so relevant. It talks about the Kennedy assassination, MLK, and it shows footage of that in the beginning, so it really puts you, gains your attention right away. I thought the whole film was well done. It's longer than most shorts, and I didn't get bored. I was into the story. I was riveted by the truth of the conversations, and in the end, when the assassination actually happens, it just shows the unfortunate impact of social media and what it can do and how scary it can be. So I really just very much enjoyed this film.
This was a really well done film. I'm typically a fan of kind of more thriller films in general, so I really appreciated the building suspense that kind of got amped up as the movie went. I think that to have a film kind of be in that kind of suspenseful thriller genre, like that's the thing you really need to amp up as you go, and I thought that this film kind of did that very well. It raised the stakes, and so I thought that that was super well done. I also liked that the little montage at the very, very beginning, because it did it lent a little bit of like context, but also it really set the tone for the film, and I thought that having a montage like right at the very beginning was a nice way to do that, especially with the short film, because then it kind of immediately lets the audience know what they're in for, which I really appreciate.
This is a really strong drama thriller, in my opinion. For starters, the plot feels depressingly plausible, which is a good thing, I guess, at least in the context of filmmaking. The performances are great. The writing is spot on. Including the scene with the woman who runs the platform, talking about the cancel culture and all that stuff, felt really relevant and just smart.
Quite a powerful thriller. Very well performed by the lead actor, and the supporting cast was also very strong. Had quite a provocative message to pass on, and I thought it was very well executed, very well edited, just a very polished product. I'm sure it's going to do very well on the festival circuit.
Very provocative thriller. It has a very challenging, daring premise that really portrays the fear and anger, and it was extraordinary. The casting and the acting, they did a great job, all of them, and I specifically loved the one part of the script where he says something like, I don't get to tell you how you suffer or about your suffering, so you also don't get to tell me about mine. And it is a very big message, because it is true. Like, we should just be empathetic towards each other regardless. And it was maybe not the central concept of the film, but I really liked that, and that's how I will remember it. And it was very beautiful, and also the bad turn of events where everything that he dreamt ultimately ends up happening, so which is such bad luck, but it was very great. I really liked it.
That was so suspenseful. It felt like I was watching a thriller, even though it's clearly set in the future and I didn't understand everything that was happening. I still found myself very invested in the characters and what would happen to them, and that sense of danger with him posting the message and then his phone blowing up and not knowing what would happen next, with why he had to avoid his technology and who is it that was watching him and what was going to happen next, and would his family be able to survive all the attention on social media. And I kind of loved how it explored those themes, like what is the impact of social media and how we interact with it, and what is the impact of sharing your point of view and perspective on social media, and what is the impact on people's privacy and families and stuff. And it was really, really interesting.
Actually, really interesting. All the characters are likable, even the main character who likes to stir up the pot a little too much. Just a little too much. I thought that the too late button was really clever. I like that. And I thought that the film did a good job to explore human nature, where that be ambition, shortcomings, political unrest, and especially how media and journalism and activism can all overlap.
I thought this film was really well done as far as coverage goes, production design, cinematography. Nothing really stood out to me as being bizarre and ill-placed, so I really appreciated the professionalism that it brought to the table in the way it was presented. And I think the main reason, though, that I like this story was because it went beyond the issues, relational issues rather, that the LGBTQ plus community faces on a daily basis. It dug a little deeper and brought up a number of issues that the community faces and brought them front and center and kind of showed the practicality of them and the implications that they may have when dealt a certain way, and just those different scenarios. I just found it to be a very interesting perspective, and I just found it to be very thought-provoking and unique in that way. So I think this was a very interesting film to watch, and I'd love to see more of your work in the future.
Yeah, this one's really interesting. It's a really complex story to tell in 15 minutes, I believe it was, and I feel like the filmmakers did a great job. The main actor is awesome. He carries the whole thing. He's very believable, and I really, really like this piece. I could see this. I kind of wish it was a larger, or like a longer story, like a feature. I feel like it has the kind of, it's got the meat for it, for sure, to be able to support a story like that. And I really liked it. And and I hope that filmmakers continue.